Hello, class. Mr. Josephson here. In this lecture, we're going to talk about the theory of comparative advantage and trade. We're going to try and understand why do countries trade and why is it their best interest to trade. This all goes back to David Ricardo in the 1800s. It is widely accepted, the theory of comparative advantage, to explain a lot of things in economics. The two steps are, it goes like this. Countries specialize in producing those goods and services in which they have a comparative advantage. Comparative advantage means that they can produce it at a lower opportunity cost. Countries then trade in order to consume more goods and services. In other words, by trading they'll be able to get beyond the limits of their individual production possibility frontier. I'm going to give you a very basic common sense example. This is the Josephson family. I raised three kids. They always grumbled about having to do chores on the weekend, um, and they did chores on the weekend. And the reason why is because we were specializing in production, and we all ended up, particularly me, better off by it. So if you can see here, we have two activities on the left-hand side of this table. First of all, let's talk about it. Here is me, and here is the kids. The two activities are cooking and laundry. Um, Cooking is simply the number of meals, and laundry is the number of baskets. Now, notice me, in a given time period, in an afternoon, a Saturday afternoon, I can do 5 meals or 10 baskets of laundry. My kids can, in the same time period, working together, do 1 meal and 3 baskets of laundry. Based on the relative magnitude of the two numbers compared to each other, you would say that I have an absolute advantage in both cooking and laundry. That makes sense. I'm better at cooking, I'm better at laundry. Um, Adam Smith, who preceded David Ricardo, a classical economist, would say, therefore, there is no basis for trade. I'm going to show you, and this is how David Ricardo refined that theory. He said, wait a minute, it's not based on absolute advantage, it's based on comparative advantage. So let's calculate the opportunity costs in the right-hand section of this table. For every, on a marginal basis or per unit basis, for every meal that I prepare, here's a typo, sorry, baskets. For every meal that I prepare, how many baskets of laundry do I give up? We'll go back over to here and compare those two numbers. I can do 5 or I can do 10. I can break that down and say, wait a minute, for every meal that I give up, or I produce, I give up 2 baskets of laundry. What about my kids? For every meal that they produce, they have to give up 3 baskets of laundry. Again, we're just comparing these two numbers here. In terms of laundry, now work the other way. For every basket of laundry, how many meals do I give up? And you can clearly see this. It's going to be the reciprocal. It would be 1/2 meal. Now, for every basket of laundry that my kids produce, how many meals do they give up? They would give up 1/3 meal. Okay. Now we have to decide, how do we divide and conquer? Divide and conquer is simply specialize in production, and we all end up better off. Where do I have the lowest opportunity costs? My opportunity costs are lowest when it comes to cooking. When I cook a meal, I give up 2 baskets. When they cook a meal, they give up 3 baskets. Clearly, I have a comparative advantage with the production of cooking. Let's look at laundry. When they produce a basket of laundry, they give up 1/3 meal. I have to give up more, 1/2 meal. So they have a comparative advantage with the production of laundry. This is how we divide and conquer. I do the cooking, they do the laundry. Does it sound familiar? When your parents are doing the cooking, who sets the table? You do. Again, based on comparative advantage. Who takes the dog for a walk? Who goes checks the mail? who does these various tasks in a household. It's common sense, but underlying it, the economic theory is the theory of comparative advantage. We'll talk more about this. So the next presentation will be we'll look at a PowerPoint and understand the theory of trade. Talk to you later. Bye.